Hey guys, it's Addy. I'm back again with another video, and this video it's going to be a special one. It's basically a review of the movie, as you can see in the title below, Babygirl, a review of that movie. This is a very popular movie. It's obviously come out, I believe it came out last year or maybe early this year. But I finally watched it. I think, yeah, I watched it last week. And I don't know, like, I really wish I could give you like a fresh reaction, but I can't because I'm only now recording this a week after I've watched it. Well, if you want my honest, my raw opinion, my raw reaction, I guess, to the movie, I could just give it to you in a small compilation of videos I made while watching the movie. Yeah.
So at work, you know, I carry mattresses and stuff, and they kind of lean up against my head. It bumps into my porch, whatever, boxing. The reason why I do the little thing is that when I lay down, it's uncomfortable for me. When I do lay down,
Guys. What is going on? Like, I don't know what is the best side. This, or this. This Dr. Pimple Popper, I think people need to do some kind of investigation into her. This man has some kind of tumor on the back of his head. You can see that. Why is she facing the wall? What kind of foreplay is this? Like, for real, I don't know what I'm missing here. Like, what is going on? It was just wrestling. What? Who made this movie? So you just what is he playing at? He just made her face the wall. This guy would be a terrible parent. He couldn't discipline for shit. This is odd, guys. My gosh. Guys, I'm sure you've seen that Jill Scott meme when she was like, if you
can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do.
Damn. He can't tell anyone what to do, but apparently he can tell her what to do, which I don't get. Even like a dog, I don't get it. Is he gonna get her milk again? Well, cats eat milk, right? Wait, man said a sweet. Is it a doggy treat? What the my gosh. I just watched her spit it out. Okay, I'm disturbed. If you guys literally couldn't tell from the those clips, I genuinely felt the movie was, I thought it was very weird. I thought it was a sick movie. I genuinely left not liking it as soon as I closed my laptop shut, as soon as I pressed X on the tab, and just left, really, because that ending, it really infuriated me. It actually like, it aggravated me, really. Like, I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the journey to the ending. I didn't like the portrayals of Nicole Kidman's character.
1 hour later.
I think that's her name, Romy. Loved her name, but yeah, I didn't like her. I didn't like what I was getting from her character. I just didn't like I didn't like the imagery. I didn't like the weird comparisons to a dog or a cat with the milk imagery. It was all weird, I can't lie, guys. Like, I didn't get it at first, and even after my analysis of it, I still don't quite get it. But let's just head into my analysis so I can show you guys how I've developed, I guess, my interpretation of this movie, Babygirl. Babygirl, that's what I call it. Don't judge me. Nicole Kidman's character, her portrayal of a woman not truly existing, that's really what I got. And I think that was portrayed very well. I don't know if that was the intention of the directors, really, but Nicole Kidman, she played the character of a woman not truly existing, but instead really manifesting an amalgamation of all aspects typically sought after in a woman. And so what these aspects are really are the boss woman. The boss woman, she played that obviously through her literally being the boss of a company, of an artificial intelligence company. She also showed another aspect, the sexually liberated woman, which is especially conveyed in her character, through her character. We see this immediately in the movie's opening scene of her engaging, with her husband. Obviously we don't know at first who she is engaging with, because what the camera focuses on is her facial expressions. She is seen unabashedly just being sexual. The sexually liberated woman, the image of that. And then we get to see that it is her husband. We learn that it's her husband that she's engaging intimately with, like this. And the amount of times in the movie that was shown these moments between her husband are quite significant. They are quite a lot. And I guess that just shows her sexual liberation as a woman, and that is typically ideal in a woman of today's standard. And this sexual liberation, this sexually liberated side to her is ideal for a man, although the sexually liberated woman is the image of the progressive woman, I guess. It's what really highlights her progressiveness as a woman living by today's standards. We can't deny the fact that men typically seek this unabashed side to a woman. They like a woman who is a freaky woman. They like that, and she shows that. She shows aspects, and it's not for a man. Obviously, that side to her is a side that is significant to Kidman's character. She's unashamed. However, we do see a side that she might be performing to. To be honest, that she is definitely performing. She is performing the Madonna complex. She is performing this, especially when she's intimate with her husband. I mean, this side to a woman which goes against the whore complex. It also appeases the man who also wants a whore as a wife, if you guys get what I mean, or a sexually aggressive woman. Kidman's character, she also portrays the Madonna, as most of the time during the movie, it is her husband who initiates their intimacy, and she relents. She not only relents, she also doesn't seem like she is a participant. Obviously it's consensual between the two, but it's almost all the time her man leading. And then there is quite a shift that I feel like is an opening to her true self, because she is playing many facades. She's putting on many fronts throughout the movie. That's what I say, that she is not truly existing. But there is a time where we get an opening that where we get to see truly who she might be, and that is when she initiates, in fact she intends to direct her husband intimately. She tells him what she desires. Obviously this doesn't work out, there's a bit of a miscommunication, but that is a side that I feel like shows, it reveals her sexual dominance, her dominance really intimately. Yeah, so other desirable attributes was her being a present, doting mother. That this was conveyed in the annual, I believe they were Christmas or festival time, the photo shoots that she led, you know, in the family, and also being a cook. There was that scene where she was wearing an apron, and I just thought it was a significant point. Another YouTuber that I watched pointed it out, but when her husband questions, why are you wearing an apron, why are you always wearing the apron, I feel like that it highlights once again the fact that she's playing a role that she's not truly existing, that this is a role in which she puts on its costume. She puts on the costume of a cook, of the domestic wife, the domestic mother. Throughout the movie we see how she is moving between these roles, like I said, not truly existing, just performing, you know, almost as though she knows that she's subject to the gaze. It could be the male gaze. I mean, in regards to her sexuality, to her expressing her sexuality, she's subjected to the gaze of her male husband. With how she portrays the domestic wife, how she portrays the domestic mother, it definitely seems like it's society that she is trying to placate, playing the boss woman who leads a company, an artificial intelligence kind of company. She could be playing under the gaze of society as a whole, women, men. Now I want to discuss the character that Harris Dickinson plays. I even forgot his name. Yeah, I remember. Samuel. So the character Samuel's character, honestly, his one, I just feel like it's plain and simple. I feel like he is a robot. I genuinely believe that he was a robot. I believe wholeheartedly that by the end of the movie we're gonna get that. And you guys might think that I was left disappointed because obviously the movie didn't explicitly say that he was a robot, but I believe that ending basically just wrapped it up for us. Wrapped it up for me. It basically implied, and that was enough really. But let's get into his character. So Samuel's character, it seems to be an extension of this play acting Romy engages in. Their relationship, it seems like a game where she's performing for him, demonstrated by the milk scene, the notorious milk scene. I mean, the way he is looking at her as she takes down, as she drinks the milk, you could interpret that as her being almost as her challenging him, you know, kind of like them famous scenes in movies where, I believe it's called the Mexican standoff, the eyes just doing the communicating. You see that between the two of them here. But it's like the fact that she drinks the milk that he bought for her, that he intended for her to drink, and she did. I just feel like it coincides with this. It coincides with this statement of her play acting, and it's a lot more enhanced as the movie goes on, despite the fact that she continues to perform in this relationship and is not fully liberated beyond its conditions. She chooses to participate in it because it fulfills her own desires. The scene in the dirty motel when she released at Samuel's hands. I don't know if that made sense, but if you watch that scene, you know what I'm talking about. So the position that she was in when he brought her to her release, it literally reminded me of the scene when she gave her own, when she made herself release. And that happened at the start of the movie. It just shows that this relationship really is self-serving for her, that it serves her pleasure-wise. It just serves her really, because she's able to achieve this monumental experience, really, this monumental experience that she's never been able to go through with her husband. It really just serves her sexual liberation. She sneaks off with Samuel just as she did to watch the adult content at the start of the movie. She sneaks off with him in between family, to when she's with family, when she's at work. Really, they're able to sneak off together, and that just mirrors the act of someone sneakily watching porn just for their own pleasure, really. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but at the start of the movie, when she was watching porn, which was what assisted her in her release, you know, the sounds that I was hearing, it sounds like what is typically presented, what is typically depicted in these adult content. The man is obviously the dominant, the one in charge, the one in control of the woman intimately, you know, and that is what is typically portrayed, because men, and I can't lie, plus women, they desire this dynamic, really. And Kidman, Romy's character, she desired this dynamic between herself and a man. She wanted to replicate it, she wanted to emulate it with her and her husband, but he didn't get it. He didn't understand her desires, and so she's able to replicate this dynamic between herself and Samuel. So that is just telling me that I don't know, I just thought it was interesting that this man came out of nowhere and he already knows how to make you come. Something isn't right, and it's really her. She was smart enough to create a robot. Deep it, this is a woman in charge of her own AI company, and Samuel just rolls. He just comes in, basically able to I can't lie, guys, it seems like he functions as her own personal vibrator, as her own self-serving tool to grant her this release. Come on, guys, I mean, that's what it is to me. That's what it was given to me. The reason why I believe Samuel is a robot, he was very stoic, he was also very mysterious. You didn't know much about him. It doesn't delve into his character really as much as I would have liked if this was a man, just a man who participated in extramarital affairs, you know. He manages to fulfill all of Romy's sexual fantasies, literally. She created him. The backdrop of the movie's events is the imagery of the robots within her company, within Romy's company. It just alludes to the fact that he's a robot, guys. Okay, so what was running through my mind as I was watching this movie was just the idea, just the thought that if the genders were reversed, and if it was a man who instead cheated on their wife with their younger female intern, that would be deemed unforgivable. That would be reason enough to have this man suffer, really, for his own selfish desires. And so that's how I really interpreted Romy's decision throughout this movie. I just saw her as self-serving. I did see her as a woman trapped, on the other hand, really, because it was almost like she wasn't existing really. And so that's what I gathered from Kidman's performance of this character, you know. And that really is real to me, because I am a woman and I definitely find myself performing when I'm outside, performing as though I'm under the male scrutiny, and it can be so tiresome and it can be so daunting. Having realized that I made this decision, that I did my hair this way, or I did my makeup this way, or that I walk this way, really, or that I aspire to be some kind of way just for the attention of a man, you know. And so that's what I just feel like the way men and women are socialized is obviously different. So in regards to that context, I understand why the director wanted to show the opposite result of this decision that Romy makes throughout the movie. But I was really satisfied with my own conclusion, which was the fact that Samuel was not a real man. That if he was, her marriage would have been destroyed. Really, her marriage would have been destroyed. Because of this fact, perhaps what really happens, right, was that Romy mismanaged the company by creating this robot that simulated a lover who she could engage with intimately. However, she was later discovered through traces of these moments. Perhaps there were recordings of her moaning, of her just engaging explicitly with a robot, basically. Her husband discovered this and he felt betrayed and told her to leave. And that is the scene we see of her leaving the house. He tells her to just leave the house. And she reveals to him what she had really done, which was create a robot for her own pleasure, really, for her own self-serving reasons. That really was my own interpretation of the movie. Obviously it didn't end like that, but I just felt like it would have been really interesting to see that instead. I'm not saying that the director, I really forgot her name, the director didn't do a good job, because she did. Because at the end of the day, I was able to come up with this own analysis, this own interpretation, just really from what I was shown through the movie. The movie was just not my cup of tea. I'm not really into depictions of cheating. Like, I don't like cheaters. As you guys know about me, I don't like seeing it, and I don't especially like to see a cheater go unpunished. I do love the discussions this movie, you know, brings up. I honestly recommend you guys watch Emma Chang Creddy. But yeah, I do recommend the movie. I do believe there were very cringe moments, but overall it was a good movie, guys. So be sure to check it out, and be sure to keep an eye out for my next videos, my previous videos. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll get back with you guys. Peace.